When a beloved military strategist lays on his deathbed, he makes his final wish on Earth to be reborn in a peaceful world. He draws his final breath and closes his eyes as death washes over him. Kongming awakens in a dark passageway and walks over to a light at the end of a path. There, he finds himself in a room packed with a crowd, music blasting from everywhere and colorful lights pulsing from all directions. He immediately believes that he has been taken to hell, as he is unaware that people are celebrating Halloween in their costumes. In a raised platform at the front of the room, Kongming watches a performance by a girl wearing a devil's outfit and was immediately captivated by her angelic voice. Kongming approaches the girl to express his admiration, but was snatched by other partygoers to get drinks. The following morning, Kongming wakes up in a house to find the singer from the night before, who introduced herself as Eiko. Eiko explains that she brought him to her place when she found him passed out in the cold streets outside. Kongming, still believing that this place is hell, expresses his amusement at the idea of him dying in the cold, but she tells him to drop the act and that this is the real world. Kongming soon realizes the truth in her words when he finds his younger self looking back at him in the mirror. Finding himself in an unfamiliar world, Kongming tries to find out as much as he can with the help of technology, pestering Eiko with questions until the girl decides to leave the room to get ready for work. Eiko comes into the room, noticing Kongming is upset. She takes a guitar and starts to sing a song. While getting dressed, Kongming tells Eiko that he wants her help to get a job. Looking at Kongming's resume in his office, Eiko's employer, owner, takes an immediate liking to Kongming being a history nerd, especially of the Three Kingdoms period, and hires him instantly. Later that night, the club is busy as Eiko struggles to get everyone's orders in time. She looks over to Kongming, who is skillfully churning out one order after another and coping well for his first job. Owner walks over and tells Eiko to go sing so he can talk to Kongming. Owner tells Kongming to not betray her in any way. Walking home, Kongming asks Eiko where her love for music came from. She tells him of a time when she almost ended her life, but upon being saved by the bar's owner, she witnessed a songstress' soulful performance and was moved. Right there, she vowed to continue living and make her life about music. Kongming tells her that he will help her to make her dream come true as he is a brilliant tactician. A few days later, Kongming and Eiko attend a performance by artist Miya Iriomote. After watching the show, Kongming and Eiko go to her dressing room to see what kind of person she is. At her dressing room door, Miya approaches as Eiko tells her that she is a singer too. Miya asks for her name and looks for her on Pictogram. Miya offers Eiko a chance to perform at an event that Friday and closes the door. Later on at the BB Club, Eiko tells Kongming and the owner that Miya sent her a message with a schedule for a performance, only to find that Miya will be performing at the same time. They come to realize that Miya did this on purpose so that the crowd would gather on to her stage instead of an unknown artist. Despite that, Kongming tells them that it is a chance of a lifetime. Eiko commands him to have the place packed for a performance, and Kongming announces how he will do it. It's the day of Eiko's performance and Miya has just started singing. Owner walks over to Eiko's stage to check the audience, only to find a few people. So he heads to the bathroom, worried that Kongming's plan did not work at all. When he walks out, he finds a large crowd enjoying Eiko's singing and questions Kongming about what he did. Kongming explains that he used a tactic to confuse the attendees to prevent them from finding the exit, but he tells Owner that even though he trapped the attendees, the reason they won't leave the show is because of Eiko. Later in her dressing room, the enraged Miya questions her manager about why her room was empty, unlike Eiko's. Miya tells her manager to watch over Eiko's pictogram as she seems to be a threat to her now. They watch as Eiko's followers grow in number following her successful performance. While admiring the number of new followers she's earned, Eiko's thoughts are interrupted when Kongming tells her that he booked her at an event. Eiko feels as if she may not be ready as she just surpassed 1,000 followers, but Kongming assures her that she is going to be fine. Arriving at the event, Eiko finds her stage obscured by a tree in a secluded location close to the Jet Jacket Band's stage. Eiko begins to get worried until Kongming assures her that everything will be fine. Eiko leaves to prepare, leaving behind Owner and Kongming. A member of Jet Jacket walks over to introduce himself to Eiko. Eiko comes around the corner after Kongming to greet him until Owner calls them to say their equipment won't work. The band member walks away with a smirk and tells his bandmates that they'll take the performance nice and easy that night. Jet Jacket continues to play to a lively crowd until the leader ends a song to make an announcement. Before he speaks, Eiko starts her song and gains people's attention. The crowd soon leaves for Eiko's stage as the owner and Kongming talk behind her stage. Kongming is summoned by the Jet Jacket Band to have a discussion where the lead singer accuses Kongming about how they faked their equipment failing to let their guard down. Kongming pulls out a drink from his sleeve and offers it to the band. Each member takes a sip, stating that it tastes bad but is soothing to the throat. The band walks away as they thank Kongming for the medicine. Eiko finishes her performance and thanks the crowd. She goes into her tent looking for owner and Kongming until she runs into them. Kongming compliments her on her performance as Eiko tells them she wants more people to hear her sing. They hear footsteps approach them, making them turn to see a silhouette of a man. Moments after delivering her performance on stage, Eiko, Kongming, and the owner meet with the festival's organizer, Mr. Tsuyoshi Kondo. Inside Eiko's tent, Mr. Tsuyoshi whispers in his assistant's ear to compliment Eiko on her performance. His assistant continues to speak for him, saying that he would like her to perform at his festivals again. Mr. Tsuyoshi presents 2 business cards on the table, one for the person in charge of a festival held in a month in Fukuoka. The other is for the head of booking for a big summer festival, Summer Sonia. He tells her to pick the card she wishes to perform at, but she has to have 100,000 likes to perform at Summer Sonia. Eiko thinks to herself how 100,000 is near impossible, but reaches for the Summer Sonia card anyway, putting complete trust in Kongming's abilities. Mr. Tsuyoshi exclaims his admiration for Eiko. He walks out of the tent, leaving owner, telling Eiko he will do whatever he can to support her. When owner asks how they will get 100,000 likes, she mentions how Kongming will surely come up with something. Kongming states that it may be a bit difficult to do so looking at where they are. Kongming tells Eiko that they require extra help and announces that they will add a rapper to the team. The following day, Kongming is nowhere to be found until the bartender tells them that Kongming is outside talking to someone and has made plans to go out to a party. Eiko goes home and decides she should do what she can as Kongming goes out to party. Days pass as she practices her songs, goes to work, and watches Kongming mingle with different people. One day, she goes to the BB club on her day off and finds Kongming listening to different kinds of music all at once. Nervously, Eiko asks Kongming what he does on his days off. Kongming tells her that he wants to go clubbing and invites Eiko. She reluctantly agrees to go. Arriving at the location, Kongming quickly gets on with the partygoers at the club, leaving aside the irritated Eiko. Later on in a restaurant, Kongming tells Eiko that he believes that they are close to the 100,000 likes project. Surprised, Eiko realizes that all the partying Kongming has been doing was part of gaining more likes. She tells Kongming that they should aim for the Voicel Land Festival, but feels that she may be dreaming too big. Kongming tells her to have some confidence in herself, and Eiko begins to tell Kongming of her love for music. Eiko passes Kongming her earphones and asks him to listen to a new song she made. Kabetaijin, a once famous rapper who was renowned for his vigor in rap battles, is seen walking aimlessly in the streets looking cast down. He gets into a misunderstanding with another individual who recognizes him as the once famous rapper Kabetaijin. When the person asks what he has been up to lately, Kabetaijin tells him that it is none of his business. The man feels offended and makes his way to Kabetaijin until he is kicked by another person. Both surprised, the person and Kabetaijin look up to see rapper Sekitoba Kung Fu. Sekitoba tells Kabetaijin to have a rap battle with him, but Kabetaijin declines, saying he does not do battles anymore. Sekitoba approaches Kabetaijin rapping, making Kabetaijin beg him to stop. Kabetaijin has a flashback to his last rap battle where he fainted and comes back to the present where Sekitoba urges him to a face-off. Kabetaijin yells that he has quit and runs off. Entering his home, Kabetaijin gathers his things and leaves to do laundry. Kabetaijin remembers the time when, as he won more rap battles, the more pressure he felt, up to his last performance where he fainted. Arriving at the laundromat, Kabetaijin sees a man sitting in the room. Kabetaijin tries to ignore him until he sees the feathered fan. Seeing that he has been noticed, Kongming tries to talk to Kabetaijin, and even tries to reignite his passion for rapping by making a deal with him. Kongming invites Kabetaijin to a rap battle event at the BB Club. Kongming tells him that if he wins, he should rap with the singer at the event and join their team, but if he loses, he will grant him one wish. Kabetaijin takes his clothes and leaves their laundromat in response. It's the night of the rap battle event, and Kabetaijin, despite himself, makes his way into the BB Club. Standing in the crowd, Eiko looks on as Sekitoba stands next to her and explains everything. Owner announces the rules of the battle and the DJ plays a beat. Kabetaijin begins, followed by Kongming. The two go back and forth with the crowd cheering until the end. Concluding there being a draw, a second round commences. The DJ starts the beat and Kongming begins. In the end, the crowd cheers for Kabetaijin as owner announces him as the winner. Kongming asks Kabetaijin how his anxiety is, making Kabetaijin realize he hasn't been feeling sick at all. Later on in the back room, Kabetaijin is seated with Eiko, owner, and Kongming. Kongming brings up Kabetaijin's wish. Kabetaijin tells Kongming that his wish has already come true, telling Eiko that her singing made him remember his love for rapping. Kongming asks Kabetaijin to join them in spreading peace through music, and he agrees to join the team. In a meeting for the 100,000 likes project, Kongming informs owner, Eiko, and Kabetaijin that they have 20 days until the deadline of the event. Kongming tells them that many artists have begun posting more to get them ahead in the 100,000 likes project, and one of the artists that they should look out for is the girl group Azalea. Stating that the group's management team has a strong human resources team, if they don't do anything on their part, they won't make it to Summer Sonia. Owner asks Kongming when he plans to make a move on the group, and Kongming tells him 3 days before the deadline, naming it X Day. Kongming tells Kabetaijin that he will have a showdown with Sekitoba soon, and in order for them to achieve the 100,000 likes, they are relying on Eiko's singing and a specific song. He plays the song Eiko recently had him listen to, and she begins to worry, stating that it is only a demo. Kongming assures her that everything will go well and that he has arranged a studio with an audio arranger for her to record the song. Kabetaijin and Eiko dash off to go do what they can to prepare. Leaving for a studio session, Kongming hands Eiko 3 bags, telling her to open them in order whenever she feels nervous. Opening the first bag, she finds 3 things: instructions to buy pudding, a public road usage permit, and a ticket for the observation deck. Arriving at the studio, Eiko meets Steve Kiddo, also known as Kid. Kid tells Eiko that he and Kongming made a wager. If she can make a song he likes, there's no charge. But if she can't, he will make Kongming his tactician. Kid looks over to see the pudding she bought and asks if he can have it, to which she happily agrees. After he finishes eating, they go into the recording booth and he tells her to sing a song to get him motivated to work. After singing, Kid compliments her but tells Eiko that she is missing her voice, and for them to continue working together, she has to find it first. Eiko walks around the city at night when she remembers the public road usage permit. She sees other people performing on the streets until she stops at the sound of a girl's voice. Mesmerized by the sound of her voice, she watches as the police interrupt her to ask if she has a public road usage permit. Overhearing the performer saying she doesn't, Eiko rushes over pretending to know the girl, stating that she has the permit and is sorry for running late. The police walk away and the girl asks Eiko if she wants to perform together. Eiko agrees and they begin to play. After their performance, Eiko asks if they can perform tomorrow, to which the girl agrees and introduces herself as Nanami. After her public performance with Eiko, Nanami gets a call from a number saved as Karasawa. During the call, she's told to stop singing on the street, to stop engaging with Eiko, and to get back in time for the meeting. Back in the studio, Eiko is singing in the booth until she comes out to be told by Kid that she has improved, but still has a long way to go. Eiko leaves the studio upset and walks toward Nanami, explaining everything that happened. Nanami suggests that they go somewhere to relax as Eiko pulls out the ticket for the observation deck from Kongming. Later at the observation deck, Nanami tells Eiko that she is the vocalist and bassist of the band Azalea. Eiko looks at her in shock, and Nanami remembers when she was in the school music room, playing instruments with 2 other girls, Ichika and Futaba. Nanami tells Eiko that after they graduated from high school, they moved to Tokyo to follow their dreams in music, but never got good opportunities. One day, a producer named Toshihiko Karasawa had them in a meeting where he told them that they know nothing about music and to only sing his songs if they want to be famous. Nanami took offense to his words and the girls decided to make their way without him. The girls soon experienced hardships when it came to money, causing Nanami to meet with Karasawa and beg for forgiveness. Karasawa told the girls to obey his commands when it came to the music and their outfits, making the girls have a large following of fans. The girls were happy with the money they had been earning, while Nanami felt she had changed. Nanami tells Eiko that singing with her made her realize that she no longer wants to sing Karasawa's songs, but she doesn't want to disappoint Azalea's fans. Eiko tells Karasawa that she's in the running for the 100,000 likes project and realizes that Nanami was giving her courage all along and gets up to sing. Eiko finishes her song and tells Nanami that she loves her singing on the street, not her performing in the Azalea group. Nanami gets a call from Karasawa and walks away, telling Eiko that they will be rivals the next time that they meet. A few days later, Eiko and Kabetaijin talk about how he went to a cipher with his old friends to help prepare him for his battle with Sekitoba. Eiko receives a call from Kid telling her it's time to come to the studio, and she rushes out. Later on, after singing in the booth, Kid tells Eiko that she wins and he will arrange her song. Before she leaves, he asks her if she is sure about the title of the song. A few days later, Kurosawa tells the Azalea group that they will be having a surprise contest in the city, and Nanami sadly agrees. Eiko, Owner, and Kongming set up the television to watch Kabetaijin's rap battle from the BB Club office. Kabetaijin makes his way onto the stage and shakes hands with Sekitoba. Sasaki watches the show from his phone with his friends with pride. Beginning the battle, everyone watches in silence as Sekitoba and Kabetaijin go back and forth. Before the presenter announces the winner, Sekitoba raises Kabetaijin's hand, leaving everyone stunned. The presenter announces Kabetaijin as the winner, and the stream ends and Sekitoba walks off stage. Kongming tells Eiko that it is now her turn, and with Owner, they make their way to the studio. Eiko enters the booth and listens to the song, surprised at how great it sounds. Eiko gets excited to sing, but as she does so, Kongming relieves the memory. Coming back to the present, Kongming and Owner tell Eiko how great she was. Kid tells her that she has the long way to go, and they begin to work preparing for X Day, as Eiko changes the name of the song to Dreamer. It is the day of Azalea's surprise performance, and word has spread that if people scan a QR code during the performance and press like, 100 people will win 1 million yen. With Azalea on their way to their performance, Kongming is in talks with Kabetaijin and Eiko on their own plan. A black truck stops in the middle of the road, getting people's attention, thinking it may be Azalea, until the truck transforms into a stage to show Eiko, Kabetaijin, and their DJ. In a flashback, Owner remembers asking Kongming what they will do about the 100,000 likes, and Kongming telling him about borrowing an idea. The crowd questions the code as it pops up on the stage screens, and they yell with joy as they scan it to press the like button. On the way to the location, Kurosawa looks at the live chat about a performance taking place similar to his plan, and sees Eiko's likes at 70,000. The Azalea truck stops opposite the black truck and transforms into a stage, showing the Azalea group. Nanami begins to sing and the crowd erupts. The QR code is put up on their stage screens and the crowd begins to scan it. Eiko's fan talks to Kongming through a headset as Kongming tells everyone of a new plan. The DJ begins to play a beat and Kabetaijin starts to rap about how the Azalea group is fake. The crowd gets enraged but is soon confused, wondering if they are truly fake. Eiko's fan yells to the crowd saying the code is fake as Kurosawa sees their likes stopping at 98,000. Standing on the stage overlooking the crowd, Eiko's song begins to play and she sings. The audience enjoys the song and starts liking her artist profile. Nanami takes her mask off and encourages the girls to do the same. Crying, they remove their masks and hug as Eiko continues her performance and her artist profile grows. Sitting in a car not far from the crowd, Kid watches the performance and clicks the like button on Eiko's artist profile, making her gain 100,000 likes. In her headset, Kongming tells Eiko that she's reached her goal and she thanks the crowd. As the crowd disperses, Nanami, Futaba, and Ichika agree that it is time to play their own songs. Nanami and the girls begin to play until Kurosawa walks into the stage to yell at the girls about how only a select few listen to their song, and they won't make a career in music. Kongming gets on the stage to tell Kurosawa that he wants to return what he borrowed. The television showed the girls having surpassed 100,000 likes. At the after party of the surprise performance, Eiko finds Kongming seated on the roof. Kongming tells Eiko how he thanks her for he had a wish to be reborn into a peaceful world, and her music united people. Eiko tells him how her dreams have only started to take shape and she's still counting on him. Kabetaijin calls for Eiko to perform Dreamer and she runs downstairs to where people are having fun as Kongming follows behind her to join the party. And that was Paripikome Recapped. If you enjoyed this recap, remember to click that sub, hit the like button, and comment down below to let me know what you think of the series. I'll see you in the next video.